And then later, I didn't know what underwriting was. I started looking at the things that underwriting does. I'm like, I want to do that. But then I didn't go to finance. I ended up doing tech, which I regret. I think I should have gone to finance. Let's do this. I think you guys, we just have lunch, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed the whole morning. So why don't you guys stand up and do like a quick stretch first, all right? And if you didn't meet your neighbors, say hi to them. So, like, hello, my name is Tou. John over there. All right, cool. Let's sit back down. Okay, so shows of hands. I just want to kind of gauge the levels here. So, who here are real estate agents? Okay. Loan officers? Okay. Real estate investors? That's all of you guys. Everybody needs to be raising their hands, right? Everybody here are real estate investors. Who hasn't done a deal yet? Or who hasn't? Okay, so we have a few new. And then how many has like 1 to 5? Okay. And then how many has more than 5 deals? Okay, cool. Good mix. Okay. Just want to kind of gauge. So, let's see if this works. All right. So my name is Tou Fang. I will talk about how to build wealth. I thought I was gonna do a different presentation, but it's fine. I don't know how to do this. This is why I created the organization called Home Wealth Builders. But I will let you guys know how I build the wealth that we currently have. And so we'll just kind of share what I've been doing so far, and hopefully that helped you guys out today, okay? So yeah, before we get that, I know that planning these events are really hard. So like I said, we have our Home Wealth Builder organization that we put together to put trainings and seminars. And yes, I should do more podcasts. I'm very glad that you guys started to do yours, Johnny and Laura. And I know that these are really, really difficult to put together. I know you guys paid a bunch of money to be here today, right? But know that they don't make any of that money because putting these events together, it takes a lot of money, energy, everything like that. And you know, I know personally that when we did it, we did not make any money. It's just really to benefit the rest of you guys. So with that, give Johnny and Laura a hand, a round of applause to thank them for doing that. All right, so thank you for having me come and speak to you guys. All right, so let's get started. I usually, so I took like my 2 days of training and I condensed it to 30 minutes or 60 minutes here, so I might go a little bit fast. All right, I did leave a lot of stuff out. But my name's Tou. This is my wife, my 2 kids. I should probably get a new photo. I just had a new baby boy. I'm a real estate investor. Really, in the past, I was really a BRRRR investor. So if you guys don't know, that's BRRRR. That's when you purchase the property, you rehab it, you rent it out, and then you refinance that, and then you repeat the process, okay? And the reason that worked for me back then, or even now too, is that way you could recycle the money. Because I didn't have a lot of money, so we have to find a way to recycle the money. I'm an agent at Creative Results. So do we have any CR agents here? Oh man, we need to come out more. Well, everybody is moving to EXP. I started investing in 2017. I moved from San Diego to Minnesota here. And you know, we started with nothing because, you know, I was in tech, I was in IT, but I was young, I didn't save any money. And then once I got married, that's when, you know, I started being serious about how to kind of build your life and stuff like that, right? So even though I made money, in San Diego it's also expensive. I didn't save anything. We started with pretty much like $2,000 to kind of move up here, and then I started with the lease option deal actually. So that's my first deal. A lot of creative finance stuff because I don't have money. So who in here, their parents gave them $1 million? All right, yeah, I didn't either. I didn't get that $1 million that Donald Trump got to start, right? So most of us don't. And so you have to start somewhere. That's where I started. Right now we have about 20 something units. We still do a bunch of rehabs, and we're doing 3 new constructions, and yeah, so that's where we are today. So yeah, we founded among web builders to kind of help each other. All right. This is just the golden platform, but we can skip that. So today, this is what I'm going to talk about. These 4 things here. All right. So the first thing is, if you want to be wealthy, right? Create a company. Every single person that's wealthy, they have a company or a trust that they put all their asset in. So, who in here has a company? Okay. Who doesn't? Okay. So at least for the 4 or 5 of you guys, I want to show you quickly. It's very easy to create a company. When you think of a corporation, you think of like a physical office and stuff like that, but it's not. It's just a piece of paper. Okay? You file it down. It takes, in Minnesota, it's about $152, something like that. You just file and you get your piece of paper and your EIN. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do that quickly. Then we'll talk about, to set your foundation, right? Okay, and I'm in the real estate space, so I'm going to talk about how to lay your foundation in the real estate space as a real estate investor. And then we'll talk about, in one example, fix a flip. And then my businesses, this is really how I'm running my businesses right now. So you need to have symbiotic businesses that you could open around the things that you guys are interested in or you're doing, right? So I'll kind of share with you guys what businesses we run and stuff like that. All right, cool? You guys ready? Yes. Okay, it's gonna be quick. Let me check the time. Okay, I'm behind already. So, all right, so let's create a business. It's 8 steps, and I'll give this slide. It's free. You just send it to them if they want it. Okay. So if you guys want the slide, just let Johnny and Laura know. All right. So step 1, right? Pick a name. Doesn't matter. It could be anything. And if you don't like it, it's fine. You can open up a new company. All right. Pick a name. Here in Minnesota. So I'm sorry if you're from Milwaukee or Wisconsin or Florida. But it's very similar. Just go to your state website. All right. So here in Minnesota, you can go to this website here and file your name and register your name there. After that, you get your EIN, your employee identification number. Okay. This is like your social security number, but for your business. So it's the same as like you having a partner, right? Like you have another person. In terms of all the legality stuff, it's essentially another person. It's another entity, just like another person. All right? So, you can create as many of these as you can, right? Don't do too many, it becomes very hard to manage. But you guys can go and create and get your EIN. And the importance of this is that you have your personal credit. Johnny talked about that earlier, right? You guys want to get a loan. You get under your name, that's your social security number, they look at your credit score and stuff like that. Well, when I said, if you get EIN, that's another entity, right? That's your business now. So they gotta look at your business credit score. They look at that person or that entity as a person, and they'll look through, their records and stuff like that. So even if you have bad personal record, you can start building your business credit with your EIN, okay? So do that and get that. A few of you guys that don't have it, it's very easy. Go and get your business. Whether you use it or not, get your business so you know how to do that. Start your business credit. And that's important, right? After you've done that, step 4, you draft an operating agreement. Okay, you could go to ChatGPT now and just say, draft me an operating agreement. And then once you're done with that, if you want a lawyer to look through it, they can. But this agreement is really just for you, right? The ones that you need lawyers to look through is if you're gonna do this business with a partner, okay? I'm talking about if you haven't started yet, go get a sole ownership and LLC. So it's just you and the company, all right? So do that. You have AI write that draft for you. That's what your operating agreement is. If you guys want a sample, as Johnny, then I can send you the samples that we use as well. And then once you're done with that, go open 2 bank accounts. Okay, usually I do one that's with a large organization, like a large bank like Chase, Wells Fargo. I do that because some of the projects that we do, the small banks take a little bit longer to send the funds because you're sending like $50,000 check, 100,000, 30,000, 10,000. All of these sometimes like the small banks takes a little bit longer to clear all of those. So at least get one large bank, and then after that go to your local credit union. Here in Minnesota we have Blaze, Sunrise, Core Trust, Stearns. These smaller banks, you could build a relationship with them, and later, if you want to do, like blanket mortgages or things like that, you have that personal relationship with these local lenders. Okay, so do 2 banks at least. All right. All you guys got 2 banks, right? The ones that you guys you need to go to go to 2 banks. One large bank, one local banks. Establish relationship with the local banks. The large banks, they're not gonna care about you unless you have like at least 100 million. So we're not there yet. And then after that, go register your. Most people don't know this part. If you own a business, go register and get your DUN numbers. Okay, this is your. Essentially, it's like your your records. For your company. Okay, so that you can start building your business's credit score. Essentially, that's what it is. Okay, so go register there. That's the website. You guys could just search that. Step 7: apply for business credit cards. Okay, you could use this to. It's easier to get large credit lines as a business than it is as your personal line. Okay, so even if you're a brand new business, if you're going to do rehabs please use it for business expense, right? Don't listen here and then go get a giant business credit card and then go buy a car with it. Don't do that unless the car is for your business. All right, so use it for business purposes, but I would start with Chase or Capital One business credit cards. Okay, Chase, because Chase has this weird rule about like 2 credit cards a year or something like that, so you can start with Chase. It should be fairly easy to get a credit card through them, okay? And if you even get like a 5,000 limit, that's fine. Use your 5,000, right? Pay it all off, run your business, use it again, pay it all off, right? And so you build that business credit. And after a while, especially, side notes this, we use like a ton of money at Menards, right? Like Menards and Home Depot are like our second homes, and so we're using like thousands of dollars over there. And so if you could use it on your business credit cards, pay it all off, and then continue that really builds your business credit with these banks, okay? Or credit card companies. Then after you're done with that, if you run your business for 6 months to a year, keep good records, you can go to your local banks, and then you could apply for business line of credit. So that's how you guys could start building like your business and your business line of credits to help run your businesses. And that's what all the wealthy people do. Okay, they don't use their personal credit; they use their business credit. All right. So step 1, go get your business running and build your business credit as all the other wealthy people do. Cool? We good with that? All right. Again, I might be going fast, so. These are the advantages, right? It doesn't. Most business credit cards don't show up on your personal history, so that's something nice, right? And then also you get larger lines because it's for businesses, okay? And we done this. This is how I got started because we didn't have money, right? So like my very first few rehabs, like most of the materials is on my business credit cards. And usually when you open it, you get 12 months 0 interest period anyway. So you just need to make sure you finish the project by that time to pay all the materials back. Right? So that's how I got started. All right. Next, we're good with that, right? Everybody's got to go get a business line, hundreds of thousands. Right here, we have like $3 million worth of business line credits already. All of us combined here. Alright, so if we all go get it, we don't need Johnny's money anymore, right? Forget all that weird credit stuff. We got $3 million already. Alright, so then I want to share with you guys how to kind of set the foundation in real estate, right? Because whatever you do, you need to set a good foundation. And I believe that if you go into real estate, this is what you should do first, before anything else. Like just complete this the next 3 years. Like just do that first. And then after that, you can worry about the 10 houses that you have, your qualified mortgages that you have to worry about after your 10 homes, like all of those things. You don't worry about that yet, just do these things for the next 3 years. That's my belief, all right? So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. All right, so this is how you can become a millionaire in 3 years in real estate. That's what it is. So I'll show you guys. So let's just do the math, right? So the math is, all right, you buy a home currently here, buy your first house around 200 grand, buy 3 more houses, and then that's worth 600. And then that's it. You stop. Just go back to do whatever else you were doing. You don't have to anymore after this. You don't need to do all these other difficult things that we're doing. Like that stresses me out, right? You don't gotta do that. That's it. Just do this. Buy 1 house, buy 3 more houses, and then just wait 30 years. That's 1.2 million on just your 3 houses. That's it, right? Woo. Everybody can do that, right?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. So who's done this already? Who's got at least 4 properties? All right, yeah, see, multi-millionaire already inside this area. Now we have $6 million inside of here that we could use, right? So yeah, this is very easy. Just do it right now, wait 30 years and you're good. And you don't have to do more than that. All right, so how do we do that? And you can do that, here's 4 ways. You can buy 12 units, all right? Not even just those 4, we can do 12. And you could do that, and if you have a spouse too, who's married? Okay. And we have a couple single people here, right? Okay. Go flip a house with your girlfriend, and then if they still want to hang out with you, that's the person to marry. All right? So that's how you do it. Trust me. You guys know. All of those of you guys that flip houses, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so here, step 1, just buy, you can buy single, but preferably 2 to 4 units. Below 4 units, because if it's 5 units and above, that's considered commercial, so you having different financing terms for that. So right here, just stay 4 or below, right? That's step 1. Step 2, buy small single family, 2 beds or so, that's the next year. Step 3, buy the house that you're gonna stay and you want to live in, right? So your larger home at step 3. So if you do that, that's already 4, 5, 6 units total. And then if you have a spouse and you guys are not legally married, but just culturally married, your spouse could do that too, right? So you could get 6 houses within the year, right? So that's how you do it. But if you're already legally married, you could get a divorce, and then do this, or just do 6, that's fine, right? And then you move on to other ways to build wealth. So again, usually, these are the examples here. You guys will get the slide deck if you guys want it. So I'm gonna brush through the numbers very quickly, right? So step 1, this is called house hacking, right? This very first step. So anyone heard of house hacking? Okay, so house hack, you live in 1 unit, you buy property, you live in 1 unit, 1 room, you rent the other to help pay the rent, right? This could work for single family, but it's just more efficient for 2, 3, or 4 units. All right. So if you're single family, you live in 1 unit, 1 room, you rent the other rooms out. But it works better for 2 to 4 units. So yeah, you just buy something about $450 for a 4-plex. These are actual examples here of one of the deals that we've done in the past. All right. So the first one, you make a little bit. You don't profit much, but you're living rent free. That's the first one, or as close to that as possible. All right. And you could do that very first property, if you're going to house hack, you could do that with FHA loan, right? And Johnny talked a little bit about that. That's 3.5% down, right? So you don't need much. You need like 8 to 25 grand. And that's it. If you don't have this 8,000 or 25 grand that you saved up, you can start saving that now. Because if you don't have a goal to save for, you will never save it. But if you're like, okay, I'm gonna save the 20 grand because we need to do house hacking, then you will be able to save that within the next 6 months or so, all right? Or we'll go find a partner, do some deals, save the money, then do house hacking. All right, the second step here that after you live in a year, you have to live there at least a year, okay? Because you're living, when you sign on the property, you're an owner occupy the property. So you have to live there in order to get the 3.5% down. Or even if you don't use FHA, there's 5% conventional loans that you guys could take on these duplexes, right? So you have to live there for at least 1 year. So that's year one. After year one, you can move out, right? And you can go back to Johnny and be like, Johnny, yes, I meant to live there, but the neighbors are too loud. And I need to, now we have a kid too, we need our own private space, right? So when you do that, you could buy a small single family, 2, maybe 3 beds, right? Because you have a reason for moving, right? And Johnny, they'll be okay with that. Like the lenders will be okay with that because it makes sense. Now, if you were to buy the single family first, and then you're like, oh, Johnny, I want a 4-plex, and I want a 3% down 4-plex, they're going to, nope. What's the reason for you moving to a 4-plex? You already have your house. So this is why you have to do this in the right order. Okay, you have to get your 4-plex first, then go do your single family. So that's, if it's small, you need about 5 to 15 grand down for that. They have 3 to 5% conventional loan for owner-occupied home for year 2, okay? Year 3, you're like, oh no, I have another kid now. If you don't, go make a kid. It takes 9 months to make one of those, so you just go, tell your wife, okay, we need another baby so we can buy another house, right? And trust me, your wife will be okay with that because the wives always want a bigger house. Is that true, right, ladies? Bigger house or smaller house? They just want a bigger kitchen. That's what it is. It's the kitchen. It's not even the house. All right, so this is your 3rd year here. Year 3, you could buy your larger home that you're gonna live in forever. So that's about 5% down that you guys have to put into. So the whole point here is you want to minimize the down payment, but you want to maximize your ability to purchase these homes. Okay? And the reason the banks will give this to you is because you're going to owner occupy that 3rd year. And the reason they will still give you that loan is because your family's growing, right? So you need more space, or you need better school, or you move to a different district, right? A better district, or things like that. So there's ways around to get around that, but this is very easy to get done. So you'll spend a total of $20,000 to $60,000 in the next 3 years to get all these 6 units that you guys can own. All right, that's very doable, right? You guys could do that. And then again, if you have a spouse, your spouse could do that too. So little legal disclaimer here, right? When you sign on these, your intention is to live in these homes, okay? That's your intent. So if your spouse is or your girlfriend is gonna come live with you, she still technically needs to be living in her home too, all right? So that's the intention, all right? So you sign the paper, I intend to live in this home, all right? So that's how you get that done. All right, so everybody got that? Those that haven't started, you guys could do that right now. And the first step to do that is to talk to someone like Johnny. Hey Johnny, this is my plan. I want to do what you just said. Can you put a plan together for me to buy a 4-plex within the next 6 months here? It's very simple. Just follow that. You don't need to do a lot of complicated things. I feel like everybody should just do this. And this is how I got started. This is how my brother-in-law got, my business partner right now. I didn't know this back then, so when he started, we followed this to the T. So he got 12 units in 3 years with him and his spouse, right? And they barely spend any money on it. Why? Because all the money that they collect from here, they save too. And on top of that, they were living rent-free. And so all the money that they go to work, they still work their full-time job. All their full-time job employment funds, they just keep that, right? So they're able to save money. All right, so these are just the math. I'm gonna go through it very quick. or I'm not going to, I'm just showing that it's here so you guys can get the example. Most will be very similar to these men. Alright, so that's it, right? Let's see where we at off top. Okay. I'll leave about like 10 minutes at the end if you guys want to ask questions. Alright, so again, that's the foundation. And I think every single person, if you're going to start investing in real estate, just get that set. And also, I've been doing like these teaching and training with the Home Will Builders group. Not everybody likes real estate either. So after you do this, if you don't like it, it's fine, just stop. But you have this asset set already. And then, you know, you guys, you could do other things. You know, if you want to start a business, you want to strictly be a real estate agent or a loan officer, or, you know, you want to, you know, go to Airbnb or something like that, you could just focus on that. But then I think every single person should get this set for them, okay? So lay your foundation, and then, you know, this is how you know, you could start building up, all right? All right, so I'm going to go through another example. This is a different way to make money now. Now that everybody got their 12 units, there's multiple ways to go now, right? And this is one way, and so I'm just going to show that one way. But like I said, after that, you could go do, you don't have to expand your portfolio, but you could go focus on the things you want to focus on. It took me a while, but when you were working, you know, full-time job, who's still working like 9 to 5 right now? Okay. The rest of us, we're working like the 5 to 9, right? You wake up 5 in the morning, you work all the way till 9 p.m., right? Yeah. And I do that, right? And that's fine. So it's actually harder to work for yourself, but for me, you know, I could come and meet with you guys like here today. You know, I took my daughter with me yesterday to do some of our work, right? So I could kind of switch my schedule around just to be with my family, right? But I think everybody is working, like especially at our age, right? So this is one way that we could work. So one is we could make money, and I say all here, I want to emphasize all, because there's so many ways to make money in fix and flip, right? You do rehab projects, right? And I'm going to show you guys that. All right, so this deal, again, I'm going through quickly with some of the slides here, but here, if you do fix and flip, here are like 5 ways to go and find deals. I mainly, yeah, there are 5 ways. And then if you're a real estate agent, we have some agents in here, right? So if you're a real estate agent, you be this guy here, right? Be a friendly, investors-friendly agent, right? You can help other investors in the room, all right?